The shift pattern is ridiculous.
There were no toilets. I had to use a crisp packet or I would have soiled myself.
It's not good for your bladder.
The messages from bus drivers keep coming. Some of those who contacted us are still working, some are retired. All describe conditions which they fear could put passengers at risk.
Drivers are fatigued, almost nothing left in them.
I don't know whether you saw the ITV News report last Thursday.
The concerns raised in our report on bus driver fatigue last week were the centre of a debate at the London Assembly Transport Committee today.
Did you watch that report and what did you make of it?
So yes, I've seen the report and I'm, pretty horrified by it. As I've said at the start, I recognise there's more that we need to do.
Today we spoke to another serving bus driver who says he goes to the toilet in Bushes, works 7 days in a row and feels exhausted.
On one occasion, I've come to a tube station and I stopped at the red lights, and just as I rested my head back on the seat, I fell asleep. And I was only woken up by vehicles noticing that the lights turned green and they've sounded their horns to alert me. And I sort of woke up in shock, in a sort of panicked way. That's how tired I was.
We're still having what I would call a sort of tentative conversation about, doing better.
Today, the committee raised concerns that lessons learned following the tram derailment in Croydon in 2016 weren't being applied to buses. 7 people were killed that day, and many changes were made to prevent it happening again.
So I don't think we're doing this tentatively. We are trying to do it robustly across the whole operation. And we are working closely with the union and the operators to see how we can do this in a comprehensive manner. And I think we are now making some progress on that.
Meanwhile, our driver showed us pictures he's taken of a typical cab and spoke of another concern, the lack of hygiene and air conditioning, which doesn't work.
Every time I take over a vehicle, I have to wipe down all the surfaces because they're absolutely disgusting. I can only describe the cab of my vehicle as a dust pot. And whenever the ventilation is turned on, it's blowing dust into my face and my eyes.
So where do you go from here?
Well, what I'm hoping is that the spotlight that you're shining on it and the noise that drivers are making and other campaigners are making will make it very hard for it to just continue business as usual. What I'll personally be doing is continuing to be a nuisance. In fact, between the meeting and speaking to you, I've already just written 2 more written questions about what we've heard this morning that will be going into the Mayor next month.
TfL told us today that they value feedback from the thousands of people who work tirelessly to keep London's bus network moving as this debate rages on.
Carolyn, bus drivers are clearly really concerned about this. How are they going to get this sorted out?
Well, as we've just seen, there's a great determination to make sure this doesn't fall off the radar of decision makers in London. And I think more bus drivers are willing to come forward and talk about it. However, despite what TfL says, what they've told us is that they still don't feel confident about raising issues with bus operators themselves because they fear that they'll be penalised. So the bus drivers we've spoken to are glad that Transport Committee have picked up this issue today, but what they now want to see is action.
OK, Carolyn, for now on this, thank you.